Good morning. I'm trying to create an instructional video on how to do your own webinar. So I'm going to screen share my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing is to go to YouTube, and I've created a YouTube page. So over here under my channel, you'll see a lot of choices. You do have to have a Gmail account, I should add, because the YouTube live streaming utilizes Google Hangout. Thus, you have to have a Gmail account. So you can see that I'm signed in with my Gmail account. And then I'm going to go to Creator Studio. And once that comes up, you'll see on the left-hand side here a variety of options. And the one that you want is live streaming. And under live streaming, when you drop that down, you can do a stream now or do an events. And if you click on events, you'll see that this how-to webinar is live. But for tonight's BVA webinar that hopefully will work, that one I already had scheduled. So if you go to view upcoming, you'll see that this BVA webinar is set to start tonight, January 7th at 6:30 p.m. So that's what we're going to work on doing, is to create a new webinar. So again, from live streaming, you're going to go to events. From events, you're going to create a new live event. So that's that tab on the upper right-hand corner. We can create event. So we could create an event called USEA. We can set it for whatever time we want. Let's say we're doing, let's actually do the awards banquet, which is January 20th at 4 p.m. So we can select a start time. You can also add an end time if you want, but having a start time will allow you to record for about 8 hours. If we wanted to put a description, we could say BVA combined awards, for example. Then you can choose if you want to make it unlisted, public, or private. I have certain ones listed as unlisted so that they can't just be searched, but certainly you can make it public or private as appropriate. If it's unlisted, you need to have the link in order to send out to people. Once we have all that, we're just simply going to create an event. Okay, so now if we go back to our events and we look at upcoming, you'll see that we have tonight's webinar scheduled for 6:30 on the 7th, and we also have this awards banquet that's set to start at 4 p.m. on the 20th. If you then want to start this webinar, you're going to click here on Start Hangout on Air, and you'll see that that takes you to a separate screen. It's not going to actually let me start because we're making this webinar. But when you get to this screen here, this Google Hangout screen, you'll see a few things. On the bottom, it will say Start Live Broadcast here, and you would simply click on that. There's some mute buttons, some camera buttons on the top of the screen, and then on the left-hand side are some other tabs for screen sharing and things like that. What I have found is that it is better to share your entire screen rather than an application. So in order to do a PowerPoint presentation, I just chose to share my whole screen, which I can show you right now what that looks like. So I'm going to minimize our YouTube video. I'm going to go to PowerPoints, and let's just randomly open a PowerPoint. And as I start playing it from the beginning, you'll see that what the viewer should be able to see, because it's a shared screen, is this PowerPoint presentation. And then as I scroll forward through the slides, the voice should match. So Dr. Melissa King, Kristen Knox, Britt McTavish, etc. So hopefully the voice matches with the slides. Then when you're done with your PowerPoint, I simply hit Escape to leave my PowerPoint presentation. I close that out, and then I can always return here to my Google Hangout, hopefully from this screen, where you can see the video that I'm creating right now. You can see up here that I'm screen sharing, and I'm going to stop screen sharing. And when I stop screen sharing, what you'll see is that the video camera just comes back to the speaker. These are the tools I was talking about before on the left-hand side of your screen. Sorry. You have some options, and this green button here is in order to screen share, and then you can turn off the microphone, you can turn off the camera, things like that. And then when you're done broadcasting, you're simply going to hit the stop broadcast. It does appear that these are available, even though it's listed as a live stream, that you can access them after the fact. So just go back to completed in that events area and you'll be able to find it. Hope that helps.